Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are and whenever you may watch this replay. I didn't have a live yesterday. That was the first day out of the 70 days that I could not attend the live. We just didn't have internet. And I'm going to tell you, it was a crazy 2 days, like Friday, Saturday, all those days. Great work was done, but wow, that was a lot of work. And we still have a few things left to do. Um, But you know what? We have internet, and that's what I care about right now. So, any case, thank you for, um, thank you for understanding the situation. I was not expecting the internet not to be back up and running before the live, so here we are. Um, real quick, before we get started in today's video, um, don't forget today's the last day to get on my priority list. Tomorrow, the doors open up for the Cardinals, the Conclave collection, tomorrow morning. So don't forget to get on my priority list. Those that are on my priority list will be receiving an email invite for the gallery night with me tomorrow night. So definitely get on that priority list so you can be invited to the gallery night. And um, little thing that just came in, finally got them done. I'm going to share. We have postcard size pictures of the birds. So just wanted to share those with you. And on each back of the postcard size of the birds are there little stories. You have the leader, the smiley face, the cardboard commander, and the mentor. So there's a little story about each of the birds on the back of these postcards. And do purchase, um, if you do purchase an original piece of artwork of one of these birds, you're going to automatically receive these postcards um, automatically as a gift, as a thank you gift from me. Um, if you decide not to purchase the birds or they're all out because there's only four, and if they're once they're gone, they're gone. If you decide not to purchase or you can't get a hold of one, I will have these for sale, but I only have a limited amount of these for sale. So I just wanted to share them with you. I'm really I'm gonna have to hold back one for myself, but one set for myself, but I just really like these. These are really nice quality postcards of my artwork, and I'm just really proud of this collection. So, any case, priority list. Sorry about that. Priority list tonight is the last night for the priority list. The doors will close, and then general sale and whatever's left will start on the 21st. So, priority members have 48 hours to make their purchase and get first dibs on the 4 original pieces of artwork and free postcard prints of my artwork to go along with it. And then on the 21st, the general sale for everyone else and whatever's left. The postcard prints will be on sale because I have enough of those. Um, and I have enough sets to include that into the sale on the 21st. So, with that, let's get started. So, today we are going to work on some fabric printing with our gel plate. And the paint I'm going to use is the Jacquard textile paint. So I've used this before. It's not one of my favorites, but it does work. Um, with any of the textile paints, you have to be really careful on how you wash things, especially if you're going to make something out of it, like a quilt, right? If you're going to make a quilt, you got to wash your quilts. I do have one quilt I cannot wash, and it's a wall hanging, um, and it stays tucked away so that the dirt didn't get onto it. So, um, anyway, that's what we're looking at is we're testing out some fabric paints to see which is the best. And then on Monday, we will finish our cardinal collage. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so these are the textile paints. I have quite a few of them. I think because I bought them in a set. So they do work, and I don't think I have. I'd have to find it. But anyway, just don't. What I'd recommend with any textile paint is testing first to see how it washes for you. Um, your water may be different. You know, mine is what I call hard water, even though we have a water softener. Um, and then the other thing is soap or no soap, right? So test those things out. Cold water, no soap, cold water, with soap, cold water, hot water, you know, with soap, those kinds of things, right? So I probably don't recommend soap. And then also you got to make sure you heat set them. So follow the directions on the back, but 72 hours was for those other paints that they're still in the wash. So we'll see how they turn out. I'll show those tomorrow. So let's see what we have here. Do I have any of these open? Okay, so we have this one open. Now, the way I use these is with a palette knife. So um they're the viscosity on them is not a lot. Let me just say this, low viscosity. I can't talk today. Trying to get back into the groove here. And textile paints, I'm not seeing, they don't have the same marking as regular paints do. I'm assuming these are probably opaque because they have to, well, no, they look transparent to me. Yeah. Okay. Wrong assumption there, Sherry. Okay, so they're definitely transparent paints, and the viscosity of them is low because it will start to beat up on the, yeah, I'm starting to see beating up on the plate. So low viscosity, and there's beating on the plate. So let's just go ahead and pull a base layer. Now, what I like to do is when I am using, now this is a tighter weave muslin that I'm using. And what I like to see when I am using textile paint on the gel plate is I like to see some of that ink coming up. But your hands, if you don't use gloves, your hands will become the color because again, it's porous, right? So the fabric is porous. And now I didn't cover the whole thing, so let's see how this turns out. So this is very light, and as you can see, hold on one second. I don't like the lighting, so you can kind of see a little bit better. Right here. You see that? Those little snowflakes, that's because you have low viscosity paint right there. Okay, so it's all over this piece. So I'm going to add some more green. Adding more green, let me just say this, because this is transparent, adding more green is not necessarily going to make it opaque, right? Like putting a lot of green on the plate is not going to make it opaque. Doing a couple layers will help. It'll darken the color. So I'm just going to put another layer of green on here. Get things out of my way just a little bit. Now, the thing about textile paint is that you could get different consistencies of paint where it's thicker and stickier, especially for your silk screen paints, because that's what they're thicker and stickier is what I want to say. Whereas this paint doesn't feel that way, so it's not meant for like a silk screen. Could you use silkscreen paint on your plate? Yes, you can use it. And I have some, so maybe we'll try some of that in another video. Okay, so just want to get these edges really good. So this is the second layer of the jacquard paints. So it's a little darker now, right? So it's very transparent paint. So since it's so light, I will go with yellow and see how that turns out to do our next print. I just don't want green in my yellow, so wiping this off really good. I might have another. I have another one. Yeah, hold on. I have another one. Okay. Again, it's going to be very transparent. So we'll see how this turns out. Now, there are some artists out there who uses jacquard paints. They really like them. It's just not one of my favorites. I think it's because of the transparency mostly, and also the way that maybe I haven't found the secret to washing them. So I will do some experimenting this weekend or today because the weekend's almost over. I don't think I want that one. I think I want to use a more open. Since the yellow is going onto the green, I want to try to get as much of that color as I can. And I got a tangled stencil here. Okay. I want to see how much of this color I can bring back. With it being transparent, I'm not sure I will. But we'll find out. So that's how you know. You see how you can see the image? That's how you know you have enough paint on for your fabrics. If you can see that, you're good. And again, your hands will turn a different color, but because it's so transparent, you just can't see it yet. All right, let's see how this turned out. Yeah, just like I thought. Okay. Very faint. Very faint is how this turned out. So, let's add another color on here. Now we can go darker. There is definitely another print right here, but we're just going to go with a darker color to see how that looks. The problem is I don't want to use red and green, even though they're complementary colors. I'll use this blue. I don't think I've ever opened it. Let's see. Yep, maybe I have. All right. We will get it. I'll use a different stencil so we don't get like a double image. Now, what I like to see underneath, do you see the print? Oh, well, that was quick. Let's add a little bit more blue. My roller started, my brayer. Oh, my brayer started pulling up the print. I mean, the paint that told me that it needed more paint. If your brayer, even if you're doing regular jelly printing, if your brayer starts pulling up paint, that means the paint's either starting to dry or you don't have enough on your plate. So let's go with this on here on top of this one, the one we've been working on. Oh, come on. See if we can get in between those little, I don't know if it's picking up the paint or not. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes. Now, because the paint's transparent, you have like this darker green. You can kind of see the lighter, the one that we did with yellow on here. You can kind of see that, but this blue took over the whole print and I knew it would. So that right there, you got yellow, you got green, you got blue. We can go with another color. Let's try white. I don't think I've ever tried white. Oh, yeah, and I've never opened it up. So here we are. Let's try white and see what happens. Now, it's going to definitely be transparent, most likely. And it will pick up whatever color is left on the plate. So let's see what happens here. Now, for the jacquard paint, since they're so thin, you could do 3 or 4 layers and it not even cause an issue with like the thickness of paint on the fabric. However, if you were to use a different mixture of, a different brand, depending on the thickness, oh, that's a lot of white, but that's okay. We'll scrape it up and put it back. All right. I just want to make sure before I put anything into that white, make sure this is cleaned off really good. This white seems to be a little thicker, so I want to think that maybe this is, well, let's just use it. I want to think that this is probably um, the viscosity on it's thicker. So maybe this is more opaque. Yeah, it's definitely more opaque. Okay. Or thicker viscosity. Can't talk. Oh, wow. All right. Okay, we're going to put white dots on top of this guy. And let's see how this looks. Don't think that there's enough white on there, so we'll see how this goes. And I'll try white again as maybe a base coat or something and see how that goes on the next one. I'm just curious about this white because it seems very thick. High viscosity in it. Well, that's interesting. So you have some light colored dots, but I'm more curious if I put more paint on there, how transparent that is, because I knew I didn't have a lot on there. So, all right. So that's a 4-layered print right there. And my fabric's not stiff. It's very pliable. That's what you want when you're quilting. If your fabric is stiff, it might be best to use that piece of fabric for junk journaling or something, not for quilting or sewing on. So let's go in here and I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna add some more. Like that is way too much, but let's see how this goes. I'm curious about this white since I've never used it before. Now, one of my favorite muslin fabrics is what I call is a looser or raw type of muslin where it's a looser weave. Really like those better because I feel as though the fabric paint or fabric paint, yeah, textile paint or fabric paint really gets in between those weaves. And so that's the type of this here's a tighter weave muslin and um I feel like you almost need more paint than you really do, but I'm curious how this white, since it is a thicker fabric paint, higher viscosity, right? This is interesting because we had the blue, we did the stencil. This turned out really cool. Look at that. That turned out really cool. Like I'm not going to even reprint on that. That was a happy accident right there. So, if you're just now joining me, definitely want to go back and watch the beginning of this video because of how I created this print. But if you've been following along, again, we've used the white. I was trying to create a white base layer and I used the green, the yellow, the blue. And so all that is this right here is a ghost print. All the different stencils I used are on here, the colors. So this is definitely what I would call a ghost print. And there's probably still a little bit more for another ghost print. So, um, good morning, Jody. How are you? Hope everything's going well. Okay, what just got my attention was that there was blue on here. I do not like that into my white. So, okay, I don't think I grabbed the wrong spatula. So, but I didn't contaminate it. Whoo, that was close. So I'm good. I do not like contaminating my paint. All right, we have a lot of white on here because I just dig deep into that bottle of Jacquard paint. All right, we're going to try another base layer this time and see what we get. And then I wanted to try another color on top of the white to see if that helps with the opaqueness of the paint. Tired. I have a lot to do. My mother-in-law is coming in this week. Oh, that's exciting. That is totally exciting. Yes, tired. I get it. Even though I didn't do a live yesterday because I had no internet, I still woke up at 4 a.m. Like or 4:30, I mean. Like that is just crazy. Granted, I turned back over and went back to sleep, but my brain started turning on. I'm concerned that when I stop doing these lives, it's going to take a while for me to sleep past 4:30. Okay, let's see how this turned out. Now, the thing you have to remember is when you're working with, oh, we got another ghost print right there, is strings. So the strings will get wrapped around your brayer. So if you're doing a lot of fabric printing, the strings will get wrapped around your brayer and you will have to undo it. Like there's a string right there. I just pulled off. That's just the nature of fabric printing. Also, you will get strings on your plate, like right there. This right here is a second generation ghost print. It's very light. Think of light baby blue. Okay. But we're going to print over that. So it's white. We have choices. We have color choices. Is that what happened? What's it? I was up. No, Sherry. Oh yeah. I posted out on the community post of the YouTube. No internet, no live. Be back Sunday. Is what I kind of said. So no, we had the internet upgraded. It took 2 whole days. Like Friday, all day Friday, Saturday, all day Saturday. I mean, when I say whole days, I mean 9 o'clock at night, like 12-hour days, except for Friday was like a half a day. But yeah, it was rough there. You know, the kid wants to do his thing. Um, so we had to get it done because, you know, we're 9 to 5ers working from home, so we had to do it on the weekend. All right. So the orange is definitely low viscosity, but I want to see how this works against the white, which is a more opaque paint. So I'm wondering if it's best to put the white down and then do the print. So that's what we're testing out right now. Yeah, it is a long time. And you know what? There's some things that are still not right. Like we have to go back and fix, but we don't need to take the internet down for that. So there's a few. I mean, when I say network guy is like amazing, I'm not joking. Like I got the best of the best. And there's a few things that aren't just right. And is it being a little overkill? Is it working? Yeah, it's working, but it's just not right. So we're going to make it right. So there's some tweaking to do on the back end. All right. Let's see how this will work. So remember, we put a white base coat down. I wanted to see if the orange is definitely, I think it does help put the white down. Orange and blue are complementary colors. That's why I went with orange, but the white does help with this. So, and I love the grunge that's around here. Oh, sorry. I love the grunge that's around here as well. Okay. But what I really liked, we're going to do another print. What I really liked was when we put white down and we got all the ghost print. I love that. That is just amazing. So let's see if we can do that again. But we're going to do one more pull. So I'm going to go in here with yellow. It probably won't show up on this particular print, but we're going to try. All right, just cleaning off before I go jumping in So I don't know if you've noticed, I have a white spatula, palette knife, excuse me, and a black one. Definitely use the white one for your lighter colors and use the black one for your darker colors. It will help to prevent contamination if you have to use textile paints that come in a jar, not a squeeze bottle. So, or move everything over to a squeeze bottle. But point is, if you're going to go deep diving into your textile paints, you don't want to contaminate them with other colors. Let's add some yellow dots to this. All right. I'm just trying to get into these little circles because it's transparent paint. So we'll be lucky if we'll get some dots on here, and that's fine. I just want to make sure we're getting them. All right. So there we got the yellow dots on there. Really liked how that turned out into that negative space. Well, it's actually positive, but yep. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do. One more print and we'll see how this goes. I hope I don't get yellow in my white. Where is my... Just... I just sprayed it with some water just to make sure. Otherwise, there's no more white. It's all yellow. I almost want a separate palette knife just for the white. Once you get a color into the white, it's like hang it up. It's all over with. All right, I think we're good. Going in. Lid. Okay, looking for the lid. All right. Did I use up all my fabric? No, I did not. Tell me no. Oh, no. All right, here we go. Sorry, I was standing up. You got my head. I just wanted to get this on there before the paint dried. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a moment. Now you can kind of see the dots. So this tells me we're going to get some kind of ghost print, and that's what I was hoping for. So let's see what happens there. I'm gonna let that sit, and then I want to go over to this one that you haven't seen yet. I'm gonna let that, and I'm gonna have to get another fabric. All right, it's a little bit bigger than I like. I do not like fabric that's too big or it's too big in my plate, but this time we're just gonna go with it, and we're gonna do a pull here. We're gonna see what we get on this one. This has got a lot of paint on it. I can tell by the way it rolls across the plate. It's like I don't know if I want to take that paint. So we'll see what we get on this one. All right. Set that over to the side. All right, let's see what kind of ghost print we got. Oh, this is cool. This is a cool ghost print. Look at that ghost print. And I like how like it's really light right here. It's got more of a blue tone to it. I thought that turned out really cool. So we have this one. I'm going to let this other one sit here for a moment because I want to see what that really pulls up. Now, remember the way gel printing works is whatever you put on the plate first is what's going to come up. So it should be green. We also did, so that's the ghost print of this. And this here is the ghost print of this one. Okay. And these are all still, you can tell they're all damp. They're all still wet. So now let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I could get another ghost print out of this. So there's still paint right there. So we could definitely get another one, but I'm going to leave that for another day. Here is the pool. So green did come up, green and blue, because those were the two colors that we used up front. Now, this right here is missing a lot of green because it's still on the plate. So this could have sat a little bit longer. This is definitely tackier. And you have some spaces here where it did not pull up on the fabric. It stayed on the plate. So right here, this is where paint, oh, you can't really see it. There's the right here is where paint stayed on the plate. And so it could have sat there a little, it could have stayed overnight, like, and it wouldn't have done that. So just be cautious that when you have multiple layers, like we have about 8 or 10 layers. I've lost count, but you get my point. Around 8 layers. This is still pliable, right? However, I'm concerned about how it's going to wash because of that. So these are all the jacquard textile paints that we did. Or, just some of them that we did. We didn't do red, but you get my point. And so I don't know how it's going to wash. And that's really the true test is if it does not wash well, you can still use jacquard paints. But I would use them in your mixed media projects as long as you don't wash them. The minute you wash them after you heat set them, they may fade or they may wash out. And I've had that happen not with your card necessarily, maybe with your card, but um, I've had that happen, and you just have to experiment with your water temperature and what type of detergent you're going to use. So it's all about experimentation. Now, real quick, priority list for the Enclave collection is going to close tonight, and so if you want to be invited to the gallery night with me for the Conclave collection, um, go ahead and get on that priority list so I can send you that special invitation. Also, for every purchase of one of the 4 original pieces of art, you get an automatic postcard. So I was excited to show you these postcard prints of the artwork. And if you didn't want to buy the artwork itself, I will have these postcards prints available for purchase when the general sale is on the 21st. So get on the priority list. The priority members have 2 days to make a decision and to purchase um, only 4 original cardinals. And after that, they're gone. But whoever purchases a cardinal, whether you're general or priority member, you get the postcard prints for free. And if you just want the postcard prints, I will have those for sale on the 21st. So definitely be on the lookout for those. Oh, and one other thing on these. There are the stories of each of the cardinal prints on the back. So we have the leader, smiley face, cardboard commander, and the mentor. So definitely have those their little stories. And with that, we will tomorrow finish up our cardinal collage that was given to me. The challenge was given to me to create a cardinal collage. So we'll finish that up tomorrow. And Posca markers are in his future for sure. So uh, definitely thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.